Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Now, do I have Gormia? I think I may do. And I do. Fantastic. Always good to start off with a bingo. About a 1 in 7 chance of that happening. I was slightly hesitant about Gormia because I think it can also be spelt G-O-R. Now, new rat not so propitious. Only one vowel, so almost certainly not a bingo. But I think that vowel will be enough that I can sort this rack out without needing to change. I can play flatten in column 5. I don't think I've got a double in that column. Now, am I sure that I don't have a bingo? There are some 8-letter plays with only 2 vowels, and there are several vowels on the board. So what about an A? I don't think so. U? Nope. I. So I have lift as a component part. No, and the A is, well, I've seen flatten, but it doesn't get doubled twice in either spot. Now, is this the right play? Because it is completely clearing the rack out. Do I want to do that? N and T are quite bingo-y. And what about getting the F doubled in this spot? So I could play felt, keeping lent, which goes quite well with an A, scoring 21 points. And flatten only scores 20, so I think this is a better play, and I'm going with it. Well, not great, but not far off being good. I've blocked the I. It's possible volley tent would have been good. Now, what about the floating A? Nothing's coming to mind. How about the U? No, so the problem is the V. That's non-bingo-y. And the O is the least bingo-y of the 2 vowels I have. Now, do I have a double as a non-bingo? I don't think so. I can't see any sequence of 3 consonants which works. Well, I do have 2 vowels, so I could place the 2 vowels either side, but in any event, I'm not seeing a play. Vino lent is good, but that's only got 1 T. So I could play volt in column 11, which takes out... Interesting, I wonder last go when I played felt whether I had a play in column 11 which got value from the J, but I didn't because I only had an E. Now, 27 for opponent. Let me consider column 12 because I may still be able to get value from the J. So L or T can go next to Joe. E or T can go next to Anne. So I think Tet is the best I can do here, which isn't very good. 23 points, retaining V. So I could do Telt for 25, keeping NOV. That's not terrible. Let me consider coming down from the top, so it would have to be VE. Ah, well, Vent isn't awful. Gets rid of the V, 26 points. I don't think I can extend this to get value from the J. Is this the best I can do? I think it is. Ah, well, it takes an E in front. Do I want to take that risk? Wow, big call. 26 points. I think I will. It's an open board. If opponent bingos, I can come back. And I'm not seeing any alternatives to this play. Do I have a play in column A to 6-letter play? No, I don't. I am going with this. Wow, fantastic. I draw a blank. I have bloated in row A if opponent doesn't play in that spot. But column 5 is a bigger spot because it's a double-double lane. So this rack plus an A. That's what I have in mind. I'm not confident there is a play. So it could end A, B, L, E. No, not seeing anything. Just wondering about variants of fouled boat, but that's not a double-double. That's tabloid as a 7, and I haven't really considered it alternatives to row A apart from the one that I'm currently considering. So this isn't proving particularly promising, but I think I do need to go through this exercise. Unfortunately, opponent is taking a while with his play. Maybe concerned about the E front hook if he doesn't have that tile. Wow, I feel there could be something there. Not seeing it. No, so I'm not seeing anything through the A. I don't have anything with the blank as an S, so I don't have a row K play. There's nowhere that I can see for tabloid. Wow. This is going to be really frustrating if I don't immediately spot a place for the bingo, because I'm sure there are bingos here. But bloated is the only 7 I've seen. Well, and tabloid. Surely there are others. And what about the other floaters in Gormia? How about the G? Not seeing anything. What about the U? I have the out prefix. No. And the M? No. Now felt takes S and Y. Not seeing anything with the blank as a Y. Or with an S. Ant does take an A after it, so if a 7 began with an A, it would play. Opponent is taking a while on this move. If he does play in row A, it's possible that tabloid would slot in row B. Now, what about rows G and I for tabloid or bloated? No, neither works. What about through the T of felt? Oh wow, opponent's played just 2 U's. Fantastic. So I haven't been punished by providing this E hook. In fact, I've benefited from it. Bloated for 84. I'm just pausing because of this A above this triple letter square. If opponent's got an X, he could get a 50-point play. Does bloated have an anagram? Well, what about lobated? That has the same deficiency. Is there a third? I feel there may be. Interesting with lobated. I wonder if globated is good. That's possible. No, I'm not seeing a third. So I'm going to go back to bloated for 84. Wow, not bad. I draw the second V, but it goes quite well with these remaining tiles. I'm not seeing a 7, but through an R I would have over dear, and it's 2 anagrams. Now I think overaged is good through the G. Wow. Will that remain available? And opponent has lost contact or quit, has not returned, and the game is adjudicated in my favour. So, final score, 61 points for opponent, 205 for me, a winning margin of 144 points. So, a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first, and I got off to a fantastic start with a bingo. Opponent plays a jar, and now I play felt. Yeah, and there's nothing amazing in column 11. Opponent's rat, not great, plays Fino. Volanti, wow, there is a double-double in column 5, 40 points, I didn't see that. And I play Vent for 26, definitely inferior. And with that risky E hook, which opponent could have benefited from with 36 points, but didn't. So opponent played just W. Yeah, keeping 5 good tiles. Not quite a powerhouse, but pretty good. And I played bloated, and it looks like low-baited was the only anagram, and that glow-baited was good. What I missed was boatload through the A, but not a double-double. And at this point, opponent abandoned the game. So that was quite a short game. Let's crank up another. Hello, the game has started. It is me to go first. Now, what do I have here? Well, no bingo. How can I get rid of the V? I think Meave is good. Spelt I-E for 26. It is, but I don't have a good rack. Through an R, I think I would have club root. No R's available. Do I have anything with the tiles on the board? Not a bingo. I do have Coulomb in column 4, which sorts the rack out. I have the out prefix. I have out clomb. Wow, I do have a bingo in column 4. Will that remain available? Oh, wow. Opponent takes it out. What a shame. That would have been a super obscure bingo, but it's not to be. And I'm not seeing anything with the other tiles, and nor with the new floaters. So, what to do here? The Z is an obvious spot to look at. So I've got lobe in this spot. What does that leave? Not a terrible rack leave. O, U, C and T do have some synergy together, and lobe is providing nothing. That's 27. Yep, I was thinking about playing O-bowl, but OL not good. Yeah, I think I will go with this. Wow, that looks a pretty good pickup. Do I have a bingo? I have Eco-Nuts and Conchoose and Uncoest. Surely one of them will play. Meave takes an S. I think it takes a D as well. So at the moment, all play in column 9. Azoic takes nothing. So quite a fragile available bingo lane. But if opponent's got an A or a D, they may play in column 4. Nothing goes in front of the C or in front of Meave. Now, supposing column 9 remains available, what am I going to play? Well, I guess Eco-Nuts, because that gets the... Well, Eco-Nuts and Conchoose both get the C doubled. Now, opponents played and interfered with my bingos. Have they prevented me from bingoing? I'm just looking initially at the T in row K because I could have a double-double. So this rack plus a T. I don't think out scent is good. So let me return to column 9. Eco-Nuts doesn't play. Uncoest doesn't play. Conchoose does, but beginning right at the top. But that's still great. That means I am bingoing. What about the floaters in Ferrety? Well, I'm not seeing anything with the I, although those look pretty good tiles. The T I've already considered, and the only candidate was out Cent, and I don't think that's good. What about the Y? No. Okay, so can choose for 67. So, is this good? I have the FY and IFY ending through an N. I would have ING, and there is one. But I'm not seeing a bingo. I do have a lead, which is good. And if I play off FY, the rack leave of Tiger is not bad. I'm not going to get in trouble with that rack leave. I'm expecting opponent to take out row A. Well, I was just noticing that Phi could go where opponents played we. I do have the IC ending and an E for going in front of we. So, do I have anything in column 1? Well, I do. I have Certify for 54 points. And I think the only thing that would be better than that would be if I were to be missing a bingo. What I haven't considered is O, W, and N, E. No, not seeing anything there, so I am going with Certify for 54. Pretty good. I draw an S, and it's a balanced rack. I don't think swanged is good. Pretty sure it's not. But this doesn't look far off a bingo, and if I dump the W, what's left is going to be good. And Certify hasn't really provided much. Could I have an 8-letter bingo here? Where are the floaters? Nothing with the T. I. Great, just 22 for opponent. F and Y not providing anything. T and Y not seeing anything. So where can I play my W? And I'd really like to play very little of what else I have. But I'm a bit reluctant to play just WoW because ADEGNS, although it's bingo-y, or a bingo-y rack isn't an absolute monster. Now, what about taking advantage of the Z? So I've got wood, and this rack leave is pretty good. 30 points. Wood takes an S. Can I do any better? So anything I do play down here has got to end in D. And it's got to end AD because there aren't plays ending GD or SD. And I do want to play off the W. So I think it does have to be wood. Is there anywhere else on the board I should be considering? Well, parallel to dump, I've got GEA or GAED. But that's not as good as wood. I'm going with this. Wow, I don't draw any vowels, and almost anything would have been good. Through an A, I would have she rangs. Just the floating I for vowels, and I'm not seeing anything through an I. I do have a scoring tile in the H. I have 2 S's as well, so I could burn one fairly cheaply. UH is good. So I could play just SH. SHE would get me a little more. That stays available. Opponent burning an S fairly cheaply, so interesting. Where is the 4th S? Ah, it's in con choose. So he can't have another S on his rack. He may have a blank. Am I sure I don't have something through the I? No, I don't think I do. And I'm just wondering about strengths, but I would need 2 T's for that. What about the Y? That can be a quasi-vowel. Not saying anything. So, what am I going to do here? Tricky. What goes in front of I'll? Nothing I've got. I could play fresh, but that's opening column 15. So I still have this SH spot, 26 points, and this is a good rack leave. It's vulnerable to drawing 2 consonants, but as soon as I draw a single vowel, it's good, and there is a floating vowel. So I am going with it. And I draw 2 consonants, of course. And pretty unpleasant ones at that, G and X. Nowhere obvious to play the X. And double G isn't good, so that was pretty much the worst possible pick, apart from a Q. But I have a good lead. Can I hold on? Opponent has signalled that he may have a blank, so I could be on the receiving end of a bingo. I'm just looking for any candidate plays, and I'm struggling. I have ging in row J, but that's nothing to write home about. Wow, that was a horrible pickup. What about the Y? And I don't have to play the X, because this rack is now so non-bingo-y. And I'm not seeing anything through the Y. This is a really tricky rack in terms of options. I may have to take a very low-scoring play. I was just about to say I have Grex and Feg, which would have scored a lot because the X would have been tripled. Oh, wow, only 16 for opponent. Interesting. And he doesn't have an S because 3 have been played and I've got the 4th. And Dilutee takes an S. But I'm not sure that really helps me for this move. Wow, what a shame about Grex being blocked. Not seeing anything in row L. So I could play Sex for, wow, 38 points. That's not bad. Horrible rack leave. But I'm taking out this triple letter square. If opponent bingos, he may bingo in row N. Sex takes a T. Wow, it would be nice to not have this horrible rack leave. Still 4 N's to come and a G. But 38 points is a lot. What else am I going to do? If I play Dreg, I only get about 12 points. I have Yex, but then the rack leave is even worse. All I'm doing is hanging on to the S and setting up value in this triple letter square. Can't see any alternative to Sex which uses this S hook. I think I am going to go with it. There still are a lot of vowels out there. Sex for 38. Great, I draw 2 vowels, so I should be able to sort this rack out now. I have enog on my rack. Not that I can see anywhere for that. And I don't have a vowel for going to the right of the X, but opponent may play down there, especially if he's got a bingo-y rack but not a bingo. A play in column 12 would fork the board, creating lanes in column 13 and row O. And opponent trails by 130, but 2 blanks to come. Oh, look at this. Fantastic. 46 points for opponent, but he's provided a spot for me to play Jong for 36 and keep a decent rack lead. And I'm back in this position of if I draw a single vowel, I could be jolly close to a bingo. So I'm going with this. And I draw all vowels. Okay. Probably slightly too many for me to bingo. But 36 points was pretty good, especially on the back of a 38-point play the previous play. So I do have a decent lead. And I keep waiting for opponent to bingo. I feel he's on the brink, but he hasn't done so far. But as soon as he does, he could be breathing down my neck. Now, I have the AGE ending with earn. Nothing beginning with F or Y. I have freegan, but that's not going to score very much. And very few floaters on this board. I think I may have considered all of them. Just F and Y. I don't have a hook. I was going to say I have a vowel going next to the X, but I still don't. That would need to be an I or a U. All the U's have gone. 3 I's still out there. So, what am I going to do? Gu and Gi are good. So, I do want to play off an A. There are lots to come. Only 2 N's to come. Well, do I have anything in this row? I don't think I do. No, I don't. Okay. Well, that's a bit forlorn. What about a play in column 10? Because I can put my vowels to the left of the X. So I have Gina. Still 3 N's to come. That's encouraging. For 22, I have Agene. And now I feel somewhat happier about this rack leave. And Agene obstructs row N as a bingo lane. So there's a lot to like about this play. And I'm taking out this triple letter square, so I am going with this. And I draw more vowels, but fortunately dodged the cue. 2 blanks, both out there with 18 unseen tiles. Now, 18 tiles in the bag, rather, 25 unseen tiles. So I don't have a bingo. I do have the K for score. And I'd quite like to turn over tiles because my rack doesn't contain anything worth keeping, particularly. And I'd like to try and get one of the blanks or both of them if they are in the bag. So I lead by 115. And I don't feel particularly comfortable in my lead because of the blanks that have not been played. If they had gone, I would be looking at a board with few bingo lanes. Now, Agene has set up a 7-letter lane for bingos ending in S, but that will provide access to a triple letter square, and it will be a face value bingo. What if opponent doesn't bingo? What am I going to do with my K? Only an S goes in front of wood. I don't have anything to front hook Arl. I do have an O for making XO. So I could play, wow, interesting. I could play Koi or Ko, both of which take an S. Ko, not dangerous, but Koi certainly is. But Koi would be nice because it sorts the rack out a lot more. And I can survive 1 bingo. Well, opponent's gone in that spot. Interesting. So that saves me having to agonise about playing Koi. I feel I do need to take out row O. It's a triple lane, and I can do that fairly easily with Korat, but that keeps EII, which isn't terrible given there's only 1 E and 1 I to come. But I must have better options. What about Crate? 27, keeping EIO. Let me check the remaining vowels. 8 out of 21, okay. Wow, what about, I was going to say, what about Carite and Archite, both of which are good, but they then set up bingo lanes for bingos ending in S. And although there already is one in column 13, that doesn't get doubled. So I'm not seeing a longer word than crate, which doesn't create an S hook. And crate's pretty good, playing 4 tiles, 27 points. Must put victory close to being within my grasp. I'm going with this. Well, I don't have the blanks, but I also don't have the Q, which is good. Opponent drew 4 tiles and may have drawn the Q, which could slow him up. And if he bingos now, he could be drawing the Q. Only 19 for opponent, but look at this. He takes out 2 bingo lanes, which is really good. So I have a spot for my N. I could play X on, but that takes an S. And I can't do anything better than NE. But wow, look at that, 28 points. That's not bad. And I don't want to turn over many tiles with the Q. And if opponent bingos in column 14, may not get doubled, and there'll be access to column 15. And in any event, and I'm taking out the column 13 bingo lane for Nebs. So there's actually quite a lot to like about this play. Rackleeb not fabulous, but I'm keeping the I for Chi, which does play in row J and may play elsewhere. Can I do any better than this? Well, only 1 pointers, so I'd probably be looking at scoring tiles on the board, and I'm not seeing anywhere great. So I am going with this. Wow, I draw one of the blanks and miss the Q and the V. So from an S, I would have Stojanov. 29 for opponent. Only 3 tiles in the bag. Could I have a bingo here? Do I have anything with the blank as an S? Don't think I do. Wow, so close. Really, well, what are the chances that the Q is in the bag? Quite high. Do I have anything beginning YA? Not that I can see. What about FA? I do have Asian as an ending with OT. Not seeing anything. Are there any other lanes? I don't think so. So opponent's drawn 3 tiles, and there are 3 in the bag, so there's a 50% chance he's got the Q. Really tempting to play off TO and create a new lane. Really tempting. So I could, how am I doing for time? 5 minutes on my clock. I could do this. And a bingo would have to overlap T and O. I could do this. Creating an S spot in column 1. Which may attract opponent. But this Rackleeb INOT blank is pretty good. Pretty good. And I think, given that the rack is so bingo-y, it would be good to set up 2 lanes because, well, is opponent going to bingo? This is a pretty ropey set of remaining tiles, even with the blank. What to do? Well, another option would be to play Tok. But then if I do have a bingo with an S, it couldn't end with it, but it couldn't with toe. The S would need to be in the middle. But I think the problem with this is that only an A goes in front of Tok, so that's not as good as playing here. I think opponent probably has the blank. So I think this is a safer spot. The difference between 6 and 9 is immaterial. I think there's a good chance that if I have a bingo, it will play in column 2. I am going with this. Okay, wow. So I dodged the Q and the V. but I don't have a bingo ending in S, so that rules out column 14. I have Entrolled, which does play in column 2. Wow. Okay, so I do have a bingo right now in column 2. What about column 14 beginning FA? Oh, an opponent takes out my beautiful bingo lane and has the Q with the blank. Are there really no other lane? Well, Vow takes an A. Interesting. So what do I have with the blank as an A? 3 minutes on my clock. Do I have a bingo with the blank as an A? Just considering initial letters. Gosh, well, if there is one, it could play, but I'm not seeing it. 2 takes nothing in front. What about a play beginning YA? Very unlikely. FA, not being able to see anything. UH takes nothing. Row I not available. No, that's exhausts the lanes. So unless I've missed something with the blank as an S, I need to turn my attention to what opponent might do and what I should do. And I keep coming back to the blank as an A. Could there be one? And even if not, maybe I should be playing down here just to maximize score. So I have tonal 23. Then I would have fair and air, so I would be going out with this. 1 minute on my clock. What do I have in column 14? And does opponent have anywhere for quail? If he does, I should probably be blocking that. No, so he's got cheese and exons. So I was considering a play in column 14. And I'm not seeing anything good. 1 minute on my clock. Just coming back to far and yar, I'm sort of looking for a bingo. Do I have time to run through the alphabet? I think that's a bit pointless. I have ing. No, I'm going to come back and play Talon for tonal for 23. And now I have a 100-point lead, so the victory is secured. What's the best I can do with IR? So I've seen 31 for opponent, fair enough. I have fair. Can I do any better than this for 7? Just having a quick squiz down the board. Peer for 5. Yep, not seeing anything better than this. Fair for 7. And the final score, 343 for my opponent, 419 for me, a winning margin of 76 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Blanks only came out to play right at the end. So it was me to go first. I played Meave, but Cleave was available for 26. Well, the same score as Meave, so not quite sure why Meave isn't showing up here. And the C is more bingo-y than the M, so I like my play. Opponent plays Azoic, and now Outclomb doesn't play, and no other bingo, so I play Lobe, which looks fine. Opponent plays Ferrety, and wow, so there is a bingo through the T. It wasn't Outscent, it was Stonecut. And so I play Can Choose. Opponent plays We. I play Certify. I'm getting a flashing low battery warning, so I don't know how long I've got. Opponent plays Dump. Oh, Windages through the eye. Brutal. Okay. Missed bingo there. I play Wood. Opponent plays Sigh. Thought about Sheep. Preferred to keep the E. Opponent plays Dilute. Grex's G10. Oh wow, Grex is burning the S, but still a similar play to Grex. I play Sex for 38. Grex's would have been better. Opponent plays Jade. I have Jong. Opponent plays Rahui. And Ajeen looks, I think, fine. Opponent plays Bort. And, oh, Qatari. Well, that's still providing floaters, so I think my play's fine. I have no idea how much time I've got here. Opponent plays R. I play NE, which looks fine. Opponent plays Done. No bingo here. I play 2. Opponent plays Vag. And no bingo on this rack, which is nice. So I play Tonal. Opponent plays Quail. And I go out with Fair, which was most. So what a game. Absolutely superb fun. Great to win. Always good to win. And I had the lead, but I didn't feel comfortable because of the missing blank. So all good fun. Many thanks to my opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.